Okay, here we go. This is going to be a longer video. We finally saw the last Star Wars movie a couple nights ago. The reason why is God has impressed in my heart to stop going to movie theaters, that they are not that safe anymore. So we kind of stopped going to movie theaters, and I wait for the movie to come out on Amazon. And Star Wars took, it seemed like 4 months, 5 months. It seemed like a long time. Sorry, I didn't investigate how long, but it took a long time. And I've been waiting 4 or 5 months for it to get to Amazon in anticipation. I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life, since the age of 13 all the way to 55. And for the last 4 months, I'll tell you a little secret. I had a sneaky feeling that the dark side was going to win, that the Jedis were going to be destroyed, and that the series was actually going to end with the Sith, symbolic of the demons and Satan. I had a feeling that that's what they were going to do. And I did not read any reviews about the movie. I did not talk to anyone about the movie. I purposely did not watch anything at all about the movie so I could be super surprised and have a great time. So I'm thinking that the Sith are going to win. Why? Because it's a Walt Disney movie, one of the most evil corporations on planet Earth. And if this shocks you, if you haven't studied about the Walt Disney Company, I challenge you to do so, please, for your own education. So this being an extremely evil company, a so-called Illuminati company, with Hollywood being run by the Illuminati corporations and families, I thought that they were going to make a statement. Since we're in the end times, no, the 7-year tribulation did not start yet, but it's clear to see we're in the end times. I thought the Illuminati controlled Hollywood movie theaters, and Walt Disney was gonna make a statement to the world and have the Sith destroy the Jedi, and evil would conquer the universe. Lo and behold, I watched the whole movie with my wife, and not only did the main villain of the movie, Kylo Ren, he turned good. He came back to the light side the same way Darth Vader did when Darth Vader died. He came back to the light side. Not only did Kylo Ren come back to the light side and become Ben again, his real name was Ben. Not only did he save Rey's life by healing her, but the good side won. And this is a little confusing to me. And this surprised me. The good side won. Now, some of you Christians who are newer in the Lord might be thinking, Garrett, of course the good side wins. Are you kidding? God is on our side. His Christ, Jesus, the master of the universe, is on our side. Of course we win. Why does the movie surprise you? God was showing you, Garrett, in the movie that the good side wins. Let me explain something to you. I will agree that spiritually speaking, the good side, the Christians, the chosen ones, with Jesus as our leader, let me say this again. Spiritually speaking, we do win. The Bible states we die and go into paradise for eternity. Spiritually speaking, we do win during the 7-year tribulation. But the Bible tells us clearly that physically speaking, the chosen ones lose. Here on earth, in our human bodies, we lose. In our houses, in our cities, in our towns and villages, physically speaking, we lose. Spiritually speaking, we win. In Star Wars, physically speaking, the good side won. That was weird. Let me read a couple scriptures to you. This is going to take a few minutes. Let's go ahead, and let's go to Matthew 24 for a second. Sorry, I'm clicking a little bit here and there. We're in Matthew 24. Jesus is speaking to his disciples on the Mount of Olives. This is one of the most incredible chapters in the entire Bible. Let's go to chapter 3 and 4. The disciples say to Jesus, "What sign will signal your return and the end of the world?" Now let's find out, do we win physically or do we lose, physically speaking, here on earth? Verse 4, Jesus told them, "Don't let anyone mislead you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah. They will deceive many." Jesus goes on to say, "And you will hear of wars and threats of wars." Well, that's happening right now, without a doubt. Jesus says, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place. Remember, the question is, do we physically win or physically lose? Jesus says, but the end won't follow immediately. Verse 7, nation will go to war against nation. So we have massive wars coming. Actually, we're in wars right now all over the Middle East and Africa and other places, but a lot of it's being kept secret. Jesus says, and kingdom against kingdom. He says, there will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world. Verse 8, but all of this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. So we have more bad things coming? We sure do. Let's read verse 9. Do we physically win? Verse 9, Jesus says, then you will be arrested, persecuted, and killed. Do we win physically? No. No, we lose. Let's continue. You will be hated all over the world because you are my followers. And many will turn away from me and betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and will deceive many people. Verse 12, sin will be rampant everywhere. We see that now. And the love of many will grow cold. That's already happened. That's already fulfilled. Verse 13, but the one who endures to the end will be saved. That's the spiritual victory. Let's continue on the physical. And the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world so that all nations will hear it, and then the end will come. Listen to this, verse 15. Do we win physically or do we lose? The day is coming when you will see what Daniel the prophet spoke about, the sacrilegious object that causes desecration standing in the holy place. Reader, pay attention. Then those in Judea must flee to the hills. A person out on the deck of a roof must not go down into the house to pack. A person out in the field must not return even to get a coat. It's going to be so bad, you're not going to be able to run back to your apartment to even get your jacket. How terrible it will be for pregnant women and for nursing mothers in those days. And pray, basically speaking, that this will not be in the winter or on the Sabbath. Look at verse 21. Do we win physically? For there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began. And it will never be so great again. We're talking about the worst time in the history of planet Earth. Verse 22, do we win physically? In fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive. But for the sake of but it will be shortened for the sake of the chosen ones. Do we win physically? No, not at all. So what happens to us exactly? Let me read Revelation chapter 13. This is very interesting, and this is what happens to us. Revelation 13:11. Then I saw a beast come out of the earth. That's a spirit. That's not a monster. That's not a human being. That's not an animal. That's a spirit. He had 2 horns like those of a lamb, but he spoke with the voice of a dragon. He exercised all the authority of the first beast, and he required all the earth. He is requiring everybody on earth and its people to worship the first beast. Now, we can't do that. So when we refuse to do that, what's going to happen to us? Let's find out. Where are we? Whose fatal wound had been healed. He did astounding miracles, even making fire flash down to earth from the sky while everyone was watching. They're going to be doing miracles. And with all the miracles he was allowed to perform on behalf of the first beast, he deceived all the people who belong to this world. That means he deceived all of the non-chosen ones. He ordered the people to make a great statue of the first beast, who was fatally wounded and then came back to life. He was then permitted to give life to the statue so it could speak. Then the statue of the beast commanded anyone refusing to worship it must die. Children of God, physically speaking, we lose. The beast overcomes us and we die. We're going to be arrested, like Jesus said, imprisoned, like Jesus said in the book of Revelation. We're going to be murdered, like Jesus said. Some of us will be tortured, raped, killed, starved, and destroyed. Physically speaking, we lose. I saw the Star Wars movie, and the good side won. Wow, that was a shock. I wasn't expecting that at all. Listen to what the Bible says here. This is amazing. Revelation 13:3. Well, you know what? We can skip that. I think we've heard enough about this. And I think we can go directly to Revelation 13:5. This is the first beast. The beast was allowed to speak great blasphemies against God. He was allowed, and he was given authority. By who? By God, of course. And he was given authority to do whatever he wanted for 42 months. Now listen to this. And he spoke terrible words of blasphemy against God, slandering his name and his dwelling, that is, those who dwell in heaven. Verse 7, do we win physically? And the beast was allowed. Who allowed him? God. And the beast was allowed to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them. The beast conquers us. The beast system here on earth is going to conquer us, imprison us, kill us, murder us, torture us, starve us, and on and on and on. Children of God, physically speaking, we lose and we're going to be murdered and killed. Why did Star Wars have the good side win? I talked to my really, really good friend John today. And John stated to me, it's a trap. Walt Disney wanted to give their final Star Wars movie a really feel-good ending to get us addicted to the next movie. They wanted a feel-good, happy, joyful ending to make us joyful, happy, and everything else as we leave the movie theater or return the movie off on Amazon. Feeling good, feeling happy, feeling energetic, feeling new motivation and encouragement to get us to watch their next black magic movie. John has a point there. Sounds interesting. Anyway, in Star Wars, the final episode, the good side won, physically speaking. In real life, we lose. We die. Spiritually speaking, we win. So cheer up. You're going to be a spirit. You're going to get a brand new body. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be 1,000 times better than any Christian has ever told us or tried to explain to us. Praise God.